Saturday.
Very good. Lula says her daily routine is still the same. She sews and cooks every day. She says that she would have even driven herself to her own party if her license didn't expire on her birthday. So there you go.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
What a milestone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're celebrating a wonderful day for you. All right, thank you for joining us. Bulldog Insider is next.
There's Andrew. He's got a lot to talk about. We'll see you back here at 11.
Rudy Salas took $80,000 in free gifts and travel from special interests. 4 continents, 5-star hotels, dozens of trips, ranked tops in the assembly one year. So when Salas helped special interests pass a plan that could raise gas prices 70 cents a gallon, it was no surprise. Why care about gas prices if you're not the one paying? And why pay Rudy Salas when he doesn't work for us? Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
The great experiences you have in here and even out here all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Sierra models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers, available for immediate delivery with 0% financing. We are professional grade GMC.
In the Valley, we work for everything we have. But not David Shepard. He wants to be the Valley's state senator, even though he only moved here during the pandemic. Shepard came from his family's beachfront property in Orange County after he got sued for physically threatening other tenants and throwing drunken parties that hurt local businesses. Shepard's not a farmer. He's a fraud. He'll never work for the Valley in the state Senate.
I'm Jim Costa, and I approve this message.
Across America, the Supreme Court has taken away women's constitutionally protected right to an abortion. Michael Maher's position?
I am absolutely pro-life.
Maher is supported by extreme groups who want to outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Maybe that's why Maher pledged his loyalty to Donald Trump, whose judges overturned Roe v. Wade. Michael Maher, too extreme for us.
What you doing? Did you know less than 6% of the world's population can solve this thing?
I guess you gotta be pretty smart then, huh?
Oh, there are better tests of intelligence than this. Like choosing ECU for your mortgage loan. Not only do they have low mortgage rates, but also no origination fee.
That is smart.
Define the odds. Always kind of been my thing.
Okay. Visit myeecu.org to see how your family can benefit today. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Tonight on Bulldog Insider, the Fresno State football team snaps its 4-game losing streak, and it does so on a night where Davante Adams was honored. We'll hear from the 9th player in program history to have his jersey retired. We'll also hear from another member of that club, Henry Ellard. And what happened on this day in Bulldog history? Now, KC24's Bulldog Insider, presented by Fashion Furniture. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bulldog Insider. Fresno State beat San Jose State last night, avoiding an 0-2 start to conference play and avoiding a 5-game losing streak. Before we get to that, we want to start by letting you know that a member of the coaching staff was put on administrative leave today. Some fans were injured last night after glass fell from the coach's box. It was due to a broken window that was caused by a member of the coaching staff. The university released this statement today about the incident. Unfortunately, some fans were injured during last night's football game as a result of glass that fell after a member of the coaching staff broke the window in the coach's box above a seating section. We want to emphasize that the safety of our fans is a high priority, and the athletic department deeply regrets that this incident occurred. A member of the coaching staff has been placed on administrative leave until an investigation has been completed. A few fans were taken to a nearby hospital to receive medical treatment. As for the game, Fresno State beat San Jose State last night. The Bulldogs were not favored. They were coming off 4 straight losses and hosting a team that was 4-1 and had the #1 passing offense in the Mountain West Conference. But Fresno State was able to sack Chevin Cordero 5 times, 4 by David Perales. On offense, Jordan Mims had a touchdown run. And Logan Fife threw a touchdown pass to Nico Remigio. Fife picked up his first win as the Bulldogs starting quarterback. 17-10 was the final score.
Just a super good feeling. It took everybody. We were working our tails off all week, and it's what we expected, and it took everybody. It's a great game. It's a great feeling in the locker room right now.
I couldn't be prouder of these kids because it's been a long, hard road. A lot of people gave up on these kids. We hear all this negative talk about things, but these guys keep working hard every single day, come to practice, work, believe in each other, and that was a great defensive performance tonight. It really was, because that's a potent offense.
For me to step up for my team, you know, we're in a funk these last 4 weeks. You know, it means a lot just purely off, you know, getting back in the win column after the tough 4 games we had, and you know, just helping my team out best I can.
Time now for our Ultimate Insider, brought to you by Fresno First Bank. We are pleased to be joined by Marcus McMaryion, Dinuba native and Fresno State quarterback in 2017 and 2018. Marcus, at this time last week, I asked you if this game against San Jose State was a must-win game. Now that the Bulldogs did win, what do you think it does for them in their quest to make it to the Mountain West Championship game?
Yeah, I think it's huge for them. I think fast forward now, obviously they have New Mexico on the road coming up, but then fast forward that, kind of the perks of being not in the locker room, you can kind of jump forward a little bit. I know they have San Diego and Hawaii at home. They're actually in the Mountain West on the West Division side. So that's going to be huge for them to be home, have that home field advantage to playing teams that are in their conference on their side.
Fresno State's run defense was excellent last night. A week after allowing 316 yards to Boise State, the Bulldogs kept the Spartans to just 37. How do you explain those two very different numbers?
Yeah, I know looking at San Jose State the week prior, they rushed for over 200 yards against UNLV, and I think it was just a really well-executed game plan on the defensive side, understanding that their quarterback had over 100 rushing yards in that UNLV game, and they did a really good job of containing him. I mean, he had a couple where he broke loose and had some big third down conversions, but for the most part, I mean, the team, especially the defensive line, I mean, David Perales was definitely the captain leading force of that, but they were playing with a lot of energy that wasn't as high as intensity as it was the week prior.
On offense, Marcus, Logan Fife gets his first win as Fresno State's starting quarterback, in for the injured Jake Haener. He still turned the ball over twice, but Coach Tedford said earlier in the week that he thought Fife would play better at home. How do you think he played last night?
Yeah, I think he played well. I think just like you mentioned, I mean, the two turnovers, that's tough. I mean, you have the interception and the fumble. I mean, you got to do your job to put your team in offense in the best position. But I kind of saw he had a little bit of a swagger to him. I mean, he's kind of bounced around, had a little pep in his step. And when he put together some good drives and made some really good throws, I mean, some deep crossing to crop and then to just making some good throws all around.
I want to ask you about that sequence at the end of the first half. We're going to show it to everyone. There's less than a minute to go until halftime. The Bulldogs start a drive on their own 40-yard line. The score is 7-3 at that point. They're winning. On 2nd and 10, Fife hangs onto the ball. He's chased in the backfield. He ends up fumbling. It's recovered by San Jose State, and that leads to a touchdown and a halftime lead for the Spartans. What did you think of how that last minute of the first half played out? And looking back on it, would it have made more sense for Fresno State to just take a knee and head to the locker room up 7-3?
Yeah, it's really an unfortunate situation when something like that happens. I know they were probably preaching and harping him on the sideline, hey, all we got to do is not take a sack, don't give up the big play, don't turn the ball over, just take care of it, put it in position for our guys to have it. And that's just something that comes with kind of being an experienced quarterback. And as he kind of gets these reps and he's going to understand, hey, no matter what, if I get sacked, I have to protect the ball in this situation. And like I said, I think it was kind of a culmination. College football is such a game of momentum. I think he kind of had a little bit of swagger and kind of bounced to him. And I think the coaching staff was feeling that as well, trying to give him a chance to march down.
Marcus, since 2013, the winner of the Fresno State-San Jose State game gets the Valley Trophy. It represents the rivalry between the San Joaquin Valley and Silicon Valley. David Perales said earlier this week that winning that trophy means a lot to him. You won it twice. What did it mean to you when you guys won it?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I know just talking with some of my former teammates about as far as just kind of the meaning and depth and what that meant for us to win it is because Silicon Valley, you kind of think they have a lot of tech industry and a lot of things going on to where I think Fresno State really kind of stamps itself and prides in having that blue-collar mentality and kind of strapping your boots on and going to work every day. So I think it just means a lot to just the fan base, but I mean, especially the players as well.
He's Marcus McMarion, former Fresno State quarterback, Dinuba native, of course. Thanks for the time today, Marcus. We'll talk to you again next week.
Yep. Thanks, Andrew.
My pleasure. Let's send it over now to Angelique Martinez. Davante Adams was in the stadium last night. Angelique.
Yeah, Andrew, the Raiders wide receiver and Bulldog legend returned to Valley Children's Stadium for an honor that only 8 other people have experienced before.
3, 2, 1.
On Saturday, Davante Adams' number 15 jersey was retired at Valley Children's Stadium. He's the 9th player to receive the honor. Adams was a Fresno State wide receiver from 2012 to 2013. He left the program as the all-time leader for most receiving yards in a single season with 1,718 yards back in 2013.
It means the world to me, honestly. I mean, I put a lot of work in, obviously, since, dating back 10 years plus. So to be able to come here and see my name up there in the company that I'm in is just amazing. So I don't take this lightly. I don't take the love I get from these fans and just the Fresno State community. I mean, it means a lot to me.
Derek Carr showed up to support his Raiders teammate. Carr and Adams combined for 38 touchdowns in 2 seasons for the Bulldogs.
It's amazing. He's a guy, he likes surprises. He shocked me with that. I didn't know he was coming. So to be able to come down here and see my guy, even if for a minute before he got to get out of here, just to, have that type of support from him. Obviously, I see him every day now, but for him to make the trip down here means a lot.
The 5-time NFL Pro Bowler and 2-time collegiate All-American has been someone players look up to. Adams hopes to continue inspiring the next generation.
Some guys coming in the league saying they watched my tape growing up, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know about all that. That's making me a little older than what I am, but I mean, it's a great feeling. It shows that I'm doing, some good things to, give the youth and, guys in college some good to watch and something good to follow after. So that's basically all I'm trying to do is just keep that going, keep making them proud.
The Raiders are on a bye this weekend. Adams and Carr return to action next Sunday, hosting the Houston Texans. Andrew, back to you.
Angelique, thank you. Davante Adams joined a group last night that includes this guy, Henry Ellard. Up next on the Bulldog Insider, we'll hear from number 83. Next.
The fashion furniture experience includes looking at a single sofa in 581 different fabrics and never leaving your home. It's cool. From Abernathy Green to Bobcat Sherbert and everything in between, nobody gives you more options more conveniently than your friends at Fashion. Click on fashionfurnitureco.com. Fashion Furniture. There's nothing like it in all of California. On El Paso across from River Park and online 24/7.
Looks like somebody got in early today. Hey, what's up, Crop? We love Jalen. Kid could have gone anywhere in the country, stayed right here in the Valley. Ain't that right, Crop? Where'd he go? Jeez. I knew J5 was quick, but dang.
Yeah. Wait. You're banking with who? They don't bank local. Here's the deal. I stay local, so you should bank local. Beautiful. Let's get started.
I'm Rudy Salas, and I approve this message.
I work for the Hanford Police Department. Seeing the victims walking into the police department was heart-wrenching because you can tell that they're in pain.
That's why it's disturbing that Washington Republicans want to criminalize abortion even when a woman has been raped or is facing a medical emergency.
David Valadeo, what if that was your daughter or your sister? Will you still support that bill that criminalizes abortion?
Wow, would you look at that?
It's beautiful.
You even remember the napkins.
What? That's our boy.
So proud.
There's a deal for every sunrise at McDonald's. Mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg or a sausage McGriddles for just $5 and pair it with a $1 any size soft drink, like an icy cold Coke.
The State of the County, October 22nd on Ksee 24.
Back here on the Bulldog Insider, Fresno State welcomed back the 1982 Bulldog football team last night. 40 years ago, that team went 11-1 and won the Cal Bowl. Jeff Tedford was that team's quarterback. One of its wide receivers, Henry Ellard. Scott Bemis joins us now with more on Ellard.
Yeah, Andrew, you know, growing up in Orange County, I remember Henry Ellard as a standout receiver for the Los Angeles Rams throughout the 80s and early 90s. But those here in the Central Valley, old enough to remember, got to see him before he went on to NFL stardom when he was rewriting the receiving record book at Fresno State.
Red Wing, a round of applause for the 1982 Bulldog football team.
It doesn't get any better than this. To see a sea of red.
3 decades before Davante Adams was setting records at Fresno State, another great Bulldog receiver, Henry Ellard, was setting records of his own.
Special player, remind me a lot of myself. When I watch him playing the way he goes about his business, doesn't get any better than that. Wide receiver university, baby, that's what it's all about.
Ellard, a Fresno native who went to Hoover High School, had a season for the ages as a Bulldog senior on that 82 team, setting an NCAA record with 1,510 receiving yards, while also breaking nearly every Bulldog receiving record, including a school record 15 receiving touchdowns, a record that stood for 31 years until Davante broke it in 2013.
It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. And it's been a lot of changes since that time. I know that.
One thing that will never change, the incredible memories from that magical 82 season.
Touchdown to Washington!
Which culminated with that dramatic win in the Cow Bowl. But looking back, it was actually a rivalry win at San Jose State that season, which gives Henry the most pride.
My junior year, they came here. They were nationally ranked. It was a national televised game, and they beat us up pretty bad, and we never forgot that. And we talked about it until that next year. We went up there for their homecoming, and we beat them in their own place. That was the best moment I had in my career.
Number 83 on the gridiron for the last time.
A career that ultimately saw his number 83 retired by the school and put up onto the facade of the stadium in a ceremony in 2000.
I happened to be coaching here at the time, you know, and then when they kind of talked about it, you know, I just like, wow, you just start thinking about back in the good days and all the memories and everything that happened, you know, playing in the stadium for the first time against Montana, winning that first game, you know, scoring my first touchdown. It's great, and just to be able to do it in front of the fans is nothing better than that.
Yeah, it was great to see Henry back out at Valley Children's Stadium last night. By the way, tonight, like usual, is part of a new promotion here on Bulldog Insider. I'm wearing some cool kicks provided by the City Stars Shoe Store. These are the Air Jordan Retro High Tops in Carolina Blue. Michael, of course, started at North Carolina, memorably hitting the game-winning shot in the 82 National Championship game as a freshman. Of course, you could win a pair just like these as part of a contest we're calling Check Out Scott Sneaks. City Stars Shoe Store giving away $100 each month towards a new pair of their sneakers. Just head to our website, yourcentralvalley.com, and look for the details on the contest page. And in the meantime, tune into Bulldog Insider each week through the end of Sunday Night Football on NBC to see which pair of City Stars sneakers I'll be wearing that night. And yeah, these are comfortable and these are really cool. Everybody has the Jordan, you know, in the Bulls look, right? You know, I like the Carolina blue. I think it makes you stand out a little bit.
So early candidate for your favorite shoes thus far this season?
Yeah, I do like the classic, you know, red and black, but I tell you, this is right up there with them. I do like them.
They look cool. I don't think those would fit me, though. I'm a 12 and a half. Thanks very much, Scott. Bulldogs in the NFL. Ronnie Rivers made his NFL debut today. He had 1 carry for the Rams and this catch for 14 yards. It came in a win over Carolina. In the same game, Aaron Mosby had a tackle for the Panthers. A very small list this week with Davante Adams, Derek Carr, and Juju Hughes all on byes. Up next on the Bulldog Insider, what happened on this day in Bulldog history? That's next.
Introducing the Bassett Gallery inside Fashion Furniture. 120 years of the most beautiful American-made home furnishings you've ever seen. Bedroom and living room, contemporary to traditional. A room for every taste. Quality woods, finer fabrics, and hardware to last a lifetime. All handcrafted by skilled artisans who take pride in everything they build. Welcome to the all-new Bassett Gallery inside Fashion Furniture.
Rudy Salas voted to increase the price of gas by 73 cents a gallon and refused to suspend the gas tax. Salas turned his back on Central Valley families. because he listens to party bosses instead of us. David Valadeo is on our side. A bipartisan problem solver, he passed landmark legislation to improve healthcare, help veterans, and protect our water. David Valadeo is fighting for the Central Valley.
I'm David Valadeo, and I approve this message.
Our family's been farming in the valley for 3 generations. Lots of politicians talk about water and do nothing. But Melissa Hurtado is different. Because she works for the valley and works across party lines, she got the funding to repair the canals that we depend on and help pass the Safe and Affordable Clean Drinking Water Act. Melissa Hurtado is fearless. She puts the valley first. I'm a lifelong Republican, but I support Melissa Hurtado because she's all valley.
At Learn for Life High Schools, I can be myself.
I can feel safe.
I can go to school at times that work for me.
I can prioritize my mental health. I can have a better school-life balance.
I can work at my own pace. I can control
my narrative. At Learn for Life High Schools,
I can control my own education.
I can change
my story, and so can you. Enroll anytime to control your education, completely free.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Celebrating our men and women of service, the Veterans Motorcycle Run, November 5th.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. It's been a few years since the Fresno State football team last played Air Force, 2019. And the Bulldogs are not scheduled to play the Falcons again until 2024. The teams have played 10 times. They've played in the WAC, they've played in the Mountain West, they've even played in the Silicon Valley Football Classic. The first time they played was on this day in Bulldog history. Brought to you by Midland Tractor. The date was October 16th, 1993. The place, Bulldog Stadium. Fresno State was hosting Air Force in the first ever meeting between the two teams. The Bulldogs were coming off a loss at Colorado State, which snapped a 3-game winning streak. They took advantage of 5 Air Force turnovers, but they had to hang on in this one. They led 23-0 in the fourth quarter, but the Falcons got within 6. It wasn't until a Ron Rivers 15-yard touchdown run put the game away. Rivers rushed for 135 yards, the 4th time in 6 games that season that he rushed for more than 100 yards. Trent Dilfer passed for 166 yards. He only threw the ball 19 times. No touchdown passes, but also no interceptions. The Bulldogs went 8-4 in 1993. They won a share of the WAC championship, but they wouldn't beat Air Force again until 1997. We'll be right back.
Until now, only Mother Nature made wood look so good. Solid American hardwood bedrooms. Choose your style, choose your finish from Artisan and Post. Made right here in the USA since 1919 by over 600 Virginia artisans. Solid American hardwood bedrooms by Artisan and Post. Sold exclusively in Fresno at Fashion Furniture on El Paso across from River Park.
Rudy Salas voted to increase the price of gas by 73 cents a gallon and refused to suspend the gas tax. Salas turned his back on Central Valley families because he listens to party bosses instead of us. David Valadeo is on our side. A bipartisan problem solver, he passed landmark legislation to improve healthcare, help veterans, and protect our water. David Valadeo is fighting for the Central Valley.
I'm David Valadeo, and I approve this message.
Here's why doctors, nurses, and patients
urge you to vote no on Prop 29.
29 would shut down dialysis clinics throughout California that my patients rely on for regular treatment,
risking my patients' lives
and the lives of 80,000 other dialysis patients.
Join the American Nurses Association California
and the California Medical Association.
Stop the dangerous dialysis proposition.
Vote no on 29.
Please vote no.
These last few years, we've all been running close to empty. And when Rudy Salas had a chance to help, he was missing. The legislature was voting on lowering gas prices, and Rudy Salas was a no-show. He didn't even bother to vote. Worse, Salas did vote for a radical law that could raise our gas prices 73 cents a gallon. Thanks, Rudy. Rudy Salas. He's just not for us. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Red Carpet Car Wash, we strive for the best of our craft. That's why we've developed our new premium ceramic wash, Platinum Plus, giving your vehicle the brightest, most brilliant shine we've produced in the 70 years we've been washing cars.
KC24 is brought to you in part by ServPro of Clovis, Visalia, Fresno, and Shaver.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. Time now for our Play of the Week. It's brought to you by Camarena Health. Yesterday, Aaron Judge has not had a very good postseason for the Yankees. Just 2 hits through 4 games in the ALDS. And a lot of strikeouts. But one of those hits was a home run. It came in Game 3 against the Guardians. Today was Game 4. There will be a Game 5 tomorrow. That is a winner-take-all game. So whoever loses that game, the season is over. Whoever wins will go on to the ALCS to face Houston. Our tweet of the week from Monday. Despite the Raiders' loss in Kansas City this week, Derek Carr threw his 200th touchdown pass in the NFL. Fittingly, the receiver was Davante Adams. We'll be right back.
Calling urgent care in 3, 2. Not everything that's urgent is an emergency. From owies to wowies, Urgent Care by Camarena Health is fast, convenient, and available, serving 3 locations. We are community. We are family. We are health.
Midland Tractor has a history of partnering with local growers, creating successes as rich as the valley soil. We bring the latest technology to our customers and provide on-site training and startup with the promise to stay until your equipment is performing as it should. Midland Tractor guides and supports through sales and unmatched service from the ground up. We've been committed to grower success for over 40 years. Thanks to you, our story continues. Midland Tractor Equipment Solutions, guaranteed.
I'm Adam Gray. John Dwordy sold thousands of defective trees to local farmers. We shouldn't let him get away with it, just like we didn't let Sacramento bureaucrats steal our water.
As Republicans, we worked with Adam Gray to pass the state's largest water bond.
Together, we protected small businesses from scams. Character matters.
And that's why we support Adam Gray for Congress.
I'm Adam Gray, and I approve this message.
I'm Rudy Salas, and I approve this message.
I work for the Hanford Police Department. Seeing the victims walking into the police department was heart-wrenching because you can tell that they're in pain.
That's why it's disturbing that Washington Republicans want to criminalize abortion even when a woman has been raped or is facing a medical emergency.
David Valadeo, what if that was your daughter or your sister? Will you still support that bill that criminalizes abortion?
Up next, the shocking facts about Mark Pazin's failed record.
Sheriff Pazin cuts sex offender loose under a policy widely criticized by police chiefs.
A double murder suspect set free due to Pazin's botched investigation.
Pazin responsible for jail escape. Day 2 of the manhunt underway.
After resigning as sheriff, Pazin said, "Wish I knew," in response to the sharp spike in murders.
With a record like that, there's no way I'm voting for Mark Pazin.
It seems everyone has a breast cancer story. Some have battled it firsthand, and others have helped loved ones face the challenge. Now is your chance to help in a whole new way by buying a special pink patch from your local law enforcement agency. Each patch is a $10 donation, and your contribution stays local, supporting the Marjorie E. Radin Breast Care Center at Clovis Community Medical Center. Donate or learn more at valleypinkpatch.org.
A reminder, you can always watch segments from the show online at yourcentralvalley.com. Whether you missed them the first time or like them so much you want to watch them again, the website is yourcentralvalley.com. So with Fresno State's win last night, the Bulldogs are now 1-1 in the Mountain West. They are 2-4 overall. San Jose State, which was 4-1, is still leading the division on the west side in the Mountain West Conference with a division record of 2-1. Then it's UNLV, then San Diego State and Fresno State are both 1-1 in conference right now. The Bulldogs will get a chance to play all of those teams in the coming weeks. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Sunday. Good night.
Today, buying drugs is as easy as sending a text or ordering online. And while not every illegal drug sold is laced with a deadly amount of fentanyl,